In this screencast, I'm going to illustrate the use of the loft command. So I'm going to first ensure that I'm using the correct project and it's 3 parts, which is what I want. So I'm going to click New, and instead of the standard English template, which is a default, I want to go to metric here. So I click on the metric on the left here, and I get several choices. And I'm going to choose the one on the far right, which is standard millimeter.ipt. So it's going to be an environment in which dimensions are by default in millimeters. So create, and I'm going to create a sketch here. We had set up previously most systems in which the XY plane was the default plane to sketch on, and we did that, if you'll recall, by going up to the eye and options and setting things up here. Right now I'm just going to not do that and show you, if you don't already know, that there are other options in which to start a sketch. So what I did there was I chose the XY plane, which happens to coincide. Let me just do that again. So if I hit New, click Metric, Standard Millimeter IPT, create a sketch. I'm going to expand the origin in the browser. And if I hover over the XY plane, you'll see that it's the one that coincides with the front. If you look up at the view cube in the upper right, the XY plane, the one highlighted, is parallel to the front up here. So I'm going to use that. And I'm going to quickly make a, let's say I don't know, 40 centimeter. Okay, so I'll scroll back, pan over, by 30 millimeter high front, and there it is. You can see that it's parallel to the front there. And now I'm going to extrude by, let's say, another 30 millimeters. Okay, so there's my why did it do that? Anyway, there's my three-dimensional object. I prefer to work in something other than gray, so smooth dark forest green is my favorite. And the first thing I'm going to do when I make this loft is to create a sketch on this plane here, which, the way things are oriented, is the bottom plane upside down. And then I'm going to make a sketch here. So I'm going to have two distinct sketches simultaneously over here in the browser, which, as you'll recall, I may have told you that's not a good idea to do, but in this particular case it will be. And so the first thing I'm going to do is create a sketch on this surface, and I'm going to use a line which comes down here, maybe over to here, and then up to here, right click OK. And the only thing I'm going to do is to illustrate how to make this thing be located where you want it to be, and just to remind you that it would be using the dimensional constraint as I've shown here. So it looks like this is about 4 millimeters, so I'm going to make it a centimeter. And okay, there are other things you can do in the constraint panel. For example, use the equal command and make this and this equal, and that'll sort of kink it that way such that they're equal. Okay, fair enough. So there's my drawing. I'm going to finish that sketch. Now I'm going to come over here to the back, and again I've got sketch 2 right here. Usually I want to consume that sketch with a three-dimensional maneuver, but now I'm going to create another 2D sketch out here, and I've got 2 sketches. So where am I? Well, it looks like we can kind of see what's on the other side with the white lines coming up. But what I like to do is kind of to get my bearings, start rotating it around. Well, I think I want to have the V looking like a V, so there it is. And then I can use the arrows again to go back around. Okay. So I'm going to make another V, and I'm going to make this one very shallow, like so. And I'm going to leave it at that, so I'm going to finish that sketch. I'm going to go back to my home view, and now I'm going to use the loft command to extract all the material between this V and that, the V on the other side, in a nice consistent way. So I'll hit loft. Now here's where it's a little unusual. So I have to click to add, and now this, for the first time I think in this class, we're going to have to go into the browser. There may be other ways to do this. I find this to be the easiest. We're going to go into the browser and we're going to select a sketch, right? It says select a sketch, so I'm going to select the sketch actually in the browser rather than try to, what is for me sometimes fumbling around over here trying to select the sketch in the graphics window. Okay, I've got that. Sketch selected. Now I click the region. Right in the middle works for me of the area that I'm interested in. Extruding away. I'm going to turn over here to the other side, and I'm going to come back up to the loft dialog box and click to add again, and now choose 3. And you'll recall that's the one I have right here, and I'm going to click that region that I want to extract away. Now very importantly, what I need to do is come up here to the various types of ways to remove stuff. So join, I don't want join because I want to remove stuff, so I want to come up here to, let's see, that's cut. So that's what I want to cut that away. And if you've done things correctly, you should see that bold looking red arrow showing that it's going to extract that stuff away. And if I click OK, you'll see that it looks like it's gone. If I go back to my home view, you'll see that in fact it did extract that stuff away. So that is the loft command.